Hi, welcome to the next section, a crash course in querying. This section will be your guide to the basic elements of the select statement, the last of the DML commands that we haven't covered yet in detail. To cover all the elements and scenarios, we would need at least another course. So here we'll discuss about retrieving and filtering data, summarizing data and querying multiple tables. Now we move on to the first video of this section that deals with retrieving data. In this video, we'll learn to use different string functions to format an expression. The select statement consists of a set of clauses that specifies which data will be included into a query result set. All the clauses of SQL statements are the keywords, and because of that are written in capital letters. A syntactically correct select statement requires a mandatory from clause which specifies the source of the data you want to retrieve. Besides mandatory clauses, there are a few optional clauses that can be used to filter and organize data, as listed on your screen. The first one, into clause, enables you to insert data which is retrieved by the select clause into a different table. It's mostly used to create table backups. Next is the where clause, which places conditions on a query and eliminates rows that would be returned by a query without any conditions. Then come the order by clause. That displays the query result in either ascending or descending alphabetical order. We also have the group by clause, providing a mechanism for arranging identical data into groups. And the last one, the having clause, that allows you to create selection criteria at the group level. The select clause in a query is followed by a list of the comma-separated column names that you wish to retrieve in a result set. For the sake of simplicity, where the result set provides a reasonable amount of data, I will use the top operator. Top can limit the result set to an exact number of rows. For example, select top 3 name from production.product will return only the first 3 rows from this table. Now let's move on to the command prompt and log into SQL CMD by running the command SQL CMD -s followed by the IP address -u-sa. Enter your admin password. The next code sample which we're going to run retrieves data from the product number and name columns stored inside the product table. So, let's use AdventureWorks 2014 database. Select top 5 product number, name from production.product and go. So you can see that as a result of the query execution, we received only 5 records from an entire table that include only data on product name and number. Now, in order to retrieve all the columns from the product.product table, you can use a wildcard character, that is the asterisk symbol, that means all columns. Let's type select asterisk from production.product go. Now we have all the 504 rows in the output. However, especially when working with a production database, select asterisk should be avoided unless you really need to retrieve all columns. Depending on the amount of retrieved data, use of the wildcard character can cause not only server and network performance reduction, but also a result set that's difficult to read and analyze. Now let's move ahead for the next topic, that is string functions. So, string data manipulation is mostly used in cases when it's necessary to represent strings in a format that's different from the one stored in the table. For example, to extract substrings, change letter case, and so on. The easiest way to manipulate string data is to use string functions that take a character string as input and produce another character string as output. Some of the most commonly used string functions are substring, left, right, upper, lower, len, and data length. Let's take a look at each one in detail. We begin with substring function. That returns part of expression passed in as an argument. The next example extracts a substring from the expression. SQL Server loves Linux, and which starts from the 18th character and is 5 characters long. Type the command select substring in parentheses SQL Server loves Linux, 18,5. You can observe how the substring which we selected from the 18th character till the next 5 characters, which is the word Linux, in the expression. Similarly, let's use the left function. Select left from the expression SQL Server loves Linux, 3, and go. You can see that it returns the specified number of characters from one side of the expression. Similarly, you can try the right function. Let's move to the upper and lower function that returns uppercase or lowercase versions of all characters in the expression. Type select upper and in parentheses the expression. Here we have the formatted expression with all the characters in the uppercase. You must now be sure that the lower function will return all characters in the lowercase. Now we try the replace function. Select replace, give the same expression followed by the string that you want to replace, and also the string that you want to insert for the replacement. You can see that it replaces the occurrence of the string specified as a search string, that is Linux, in our case, with the replacement string that's OpenSUSE. Now we try out the next function, that is the length function, or len. Select len and give the expression in parentheses. So the len function returns the length, that is the number of characters of a string expression, while data length returns the number of bytes used to represent any expression. Now, as an exercise, consider that your company manager requires a list of all products, which should contain a product number and colour next to the product name. Product names should all be capitalised, and the list should omit the product initials or the first two characters, but include the rest of the product number. How can you work on this? Let's write the query to get the results for the exact requirement. Type select top 5 upper name, substring product number, 4, 6, colour, from production.product, and go. So, we have the desired result with the product names, product number, excluding the first two characters, and the details for the colour. Nice. That's all for now.